It moves faster than it used to, shouting for our attention, demanding we keep up, and often making us feel like the ground beneath our feet is shifting. Maybe you've sat by the window lately and felt a strange, quiet weight, a sense that the world you built and the world that exists today don't quite speak the same language anymore. We were raised to believe that being strong meant being a rock, hard, unmoving. We thought strength was about how much weight we could carry on our shoulders without buckling. We carried the careers, the kids, the mortgages, and the expectations. We held it all together because that's what was expected of us. But now, in this season of life, that old definition of strength feels heavy. It feels tiring. You might think that staying strong means tightening your grip. You might believe that to survive the changes around us, the loss of friends, the shifting of our roles, the way the mirror tells a different story every morning, we have to harden ourselves. We think if we just hold on tighter to how things used to be, we won't lose our way. But here is the truth we've earned through the decades. A rock can be shattered by a single blow, but water flows. Water adapts. Water is the strongest force on Earth because it never tries to fight the shape of the container it's in. Our first lesson in staying strong is the power of yielding. Think back to the great storms you've lived through. Not just the weather, but the seasons of grief or the years of lean living. The things that survived weren't the rigid oaks that refused to move. They were the willows that bent until their branches touched the ground. They didn't break because they didn't resist the wind. Staying strong in any situation starts with a gentle surrender to what is. It's the ability to look at a difficult day, a day where the body aches or the house feels too quiet, and say, "This is where I am right now, and that's okay." We spend so much energy fighting the reality of our circumstances. When we stop fighting the what is, we save all that precious energy for what can be. We often mistake yielding for giving up. It's the opposite. Giving up is a collapse. Yielding is a choice. It's the quiet dignity of a person who knows that their value isn't tied to their productivity or their pace. We are learning that our strength isn't in our muscles anymore. It's in our perspective. When the world feels like it's moving too fast, or when life throws a curveball we didn't see coming, we don't need to push back. We just need to breathe. We need to remember that we have survived 100% of our hardest days so far. That isn't luck. That's a foundation. Take a moment to think about the last time you felt truly overwhelmed. Did the world end? Or did you, slowly and quietly, find a way through? We don't need to be louder than the storm. We just need to be the one who is still there when the sun comes up. The architecture of inner stillness. There is a specific kind of bravery that comes with being over 60. It's the bravery of being still. For most of our lives, we were defined by what we did. We were the provider, the mother, the boss, the fixer. Our strength was external. It was visible. It was measured in results. But then, the roles begin to change. The kids move away. The career reaches its finish line. The house gets quieter. And suddenly, we are left with the one person we spent years ignoring, ourselves. It can feel like a loss of power. We look around and see a world obsessed with the new, the fast, and the digital. We see people staring at screens, rushing toward nothing, and we might feel a little bit invisible. Like we're a book on a shelf that people are walking past without noticing the title. We were taught that to be relevant, we had to be useful. Yet life is showing us that there is a massive difference between being useful and being valuable. A hammer is useful. A diamond is valuable. One does work, the other just is. Our second lesson is the cultivation of the inner sanctuary. Staying strong in any situation depends entirely on where you live inside your own head. If your strength is built on your bank account, your health, or how much people need you, then your strength is fragile. Because those things can change in an instant. True strength is building a room inside yourself that the world cannot touch. I remember a woman I knew years ago. She had lost her husband, her home, and eventually, much of her mobility. By all accounts, the situations of her life were devastating. But when you sat with her, you felt like you were sitting by a warm fire. She didn't complain. She didn't mourn the past. She had spent years cultivating a library of memories, a sense of humor, and a deep, unshakable peace. She stayed strong because her home wasn't a building. It was her spirit. How do we build that? We do it by choosing our thoughts as carefully as we choose our clothes. We stop inviting worry to dinner. We stop replaying the should-haves and could-haves. When a crisis hits, whether it's a health scare or a family disagreement, the world expects us to panic. But our strength lies in the pause. In that space between the bad news and our reaction, we have the right to take our time. We have the right to say, I am going to sit with this for a moment before I let it move me. This is the lesson of the anchor. An anchor doesn't stop the storm. It doesn't make the waves disappear. It just keeps the ship from being swept away. What is your anchor? Is it your faith? Is it the memory of those who loved you into being? Is it the simple beauty of the morning light on a cup of coffee? When we find our anchor, we realize that we don't have to control the situation to be okay. We just have to control our connection to the bottom. We've seen enough of life to know that the waves always, eventually, calm down. They always do. Our job isn't to stop the waves. It's to stay attached to what is real. As we move through these later chapters, we start to realize that our strength isn't just for us. We are the elders now, even if we don't feel like it. Even if we still feel like that 20-year-old kid inside, wondering how we got here so fast. To the generations behind us, we are the evidence. We are the living proof that life can be survived. Sometimes the hardest situation to stay strong in isn't a crisis. It's the long, slow stretch of ordinary days. It's the feeling that our best work is behind us. We look at the world's problems and feel small. We look at our own limitations and feel restricted. But there is a hidden power in this stage of life that we often overlook. We might think our influence is fading, but the truth is, our influence has simply changed its form. We are no longer the ones running the race. We are the ones who know the path. Our final lesson is the wisdom of the long view. Staying strong in any situation is easier when you remember that every situation is temporary. We know this in our bones, don't we? We've seen leaders come and go. We've seen fashions rise and fall. We've seen emergencies turn into footnotes. This perspective is our greatest gift. When someone younger is panicking, we can be the person who says, I know it feels like the end of the world, but I've been to the end of the world 3 times already and I'm still here. We're going to be okay. That is strength. Not the strength of a fist, but the strength of an open hand. Think about a tree in winter. To a child, it might look dead. It has no leaves. It produces no fruit. It just stands there in the cold. But we know better. We know that deep underground, the roots are growing. The tree is gathering its energy. It isn't doing nothing. It is enduring. It is preparing. Your strength right now might look like nothing to the outside world. It might look like patience. It might look like kindness when you have every reason to be bitter. It might look like getting out of bed and making the bed, even when no one is coming over to see it. These are not small things. These are the victories. Staying strong doesn't mean you don't feel fear. It doesn't mean you don't cry. It means that after the tears, you wash your face and you keep going. Not because you have to, but because you are made of the stuff that lasts. You are made of decades of laughter, thousands of heartbeats, and 1,000,000 small choices to keep moving forward. We don't need to be superheroes. We just need to be humans who refuse to let the world turn us cold. As you go through your day today, whatever situation you find yourself in, remember, you are not a victim of your circumstances. You are the architect of your response. You have a reservoir of resilience that is deeper than you know. Take a deep breath. Feel the air in your lungs. That breath is a gift, and it's also a reminder. You are still here. You are still relevant. And you are far stronger than you give yourself credit for. If the world were to look at you right now, in this quiet moment, what would it see? It might see a person sitting quietly. But we know better. We know it's seeing a miracle of endurance. What is one small thing you can do today, not for anyone else but for yourself, to acknowledge the strength you've already shown just by being here? Stay gentle, stay open, and most of all, stay with you.